Godfather of Irish Drill. Shout out my boy, Demi TV.
It's Wave God in this motherfucker. Hey, shout my nigga Demi T though.
Got song pop like I'm Iggy. All they talking about is last night like I'm Demi. Say you got.
Rupees donated $5. Damn ski pulled the Michael.
Dean TV cool merch in the description box. Go copy, son. Click the link in the description box below and support your boy. What's up, Dean fam? Dean here. Today we doing a Geo Geek reaction. You feel me? And it's called Ireland's supernatural island that can be reached. We gonna react to it, see what island is talking about, and people from Ireland. Yo, is this true? I want to get verification. Like, is this true? Like, what type of island is it? How it look like? How majestic is it? Like, comment below. And if you seen it or ever been to it, you feel me? And shout out to all my people across the world. Love you guys. And also, you feel me? Check out the Dean TV clothing merch in the description box below. Subscribe to the channel, road to 100K million in the building. You feel me? And we gonna learn about some Ireland supernatural. Gonna learn about this island, supernatural island. You feel me? And let's get into the reaction. Love y'all. You feel me?
For over 5 centuries, an island called High Brazil appeared off Ireland's coast.
Brazil.
At least it did on maps.
Brazil.
And this was no ordinary island. Irish folklore described High Brazil in much the same way as Atlantis. The island, or what was sometimes shown as two islands, was a paradise, which gave its residents eternal happiness and immortality. But
explain.
It's no longer there. High Brazil had a few other slightly different names, as well as variations in spelling.
So how the fuck did this place and Atlanta just disappear? Or what they want to call it, underground, underwater. Shit.
As you can see on this map. The origin of the name isn't exactly clear, but it's likely somehow linked to a northeastern Irish tribe of a similar name. It's just a coincidence that it shares a name with the South American country, Brazil. But there was a problem for those wanting to find it. It could only be seen once every 7 years, when King Bressel, the High King of the world and ruler of the island, rose the island from under the water to hold court. The island would then disappear back into the Atlantic. The first known appearance of High Brazil on a map was in 1325, and if it didn't exist, you'd expect the island to be erased on maps shortly after, considering its location was only a short distance from Ireland, England, and the European continent as a whole. The age of sail and the increased naval traffic that came with it began just a century or so later. But the sailors coming through the area must have explained the missing island away, as that day just wasn't that once.
How the fuck do it look when the island coming up off the planet? Like the fuck? I don't know how to react to that.
But there are actually documented sightings.
Just look,
well, at least documented claims.
Just mesmerized, like.
But before I share those, I want to share with you today's sponsor, which is located not that far away from High Brazil and Ireland, in Edelston, Scotland. This is Established Titles, a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland. Scottish custom of calling yourself a lord or lady. You could actually officially include the title. Great last-minute gift. I actually bought a plot for my pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our little kingdom of geography geeks. Go to establishedtitles.com to shop their Black Friday sale. Plus, get an additional 10% off using the link and code in the description below.
Hide the title what you want and just go there. Okay, got you. Oh, shit, that's crazy. Just buying titles. What the fuck? Oh, bro. That's the same thing with Jesus.
Beginning in 1480, expeditions were launched from Bristol, a city in southwest England, to search for the island. These first attempts were unsuccessful. But the expeditions continued into the 90s. In 1498, a Spanish envoy in London reported to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella that the English had sent several missions per year for the past 7 years to search for the island, but he provided few details. And one of these voyages was apparently successful. A letter written in late 1497 or early 1498 by the English merchant John Day to an unidentified Spanish Lord Grand Admiral, who may have been Christopher Columbus, read this. It is considered certain that the cape of the said land was found and discovered in the past by the men from Bristol, who found Brazil, as your lordship well knows. It was called the island of Brazil, and it is assumed and believed to be the mainland that the men from Bristol found. In 1633, a Captain David Alexander attempted to complete a survey of High Brazil, but he was unsuccessful in locating the island. But this didn't end the belief that it existed. In 1674, a Captain John Nisbet of Ireland claimed to have accidentally found High Brazil while attempting to return home from France. According to Nisbet's later description, he and his crew chanced upon the island while sailing through extremely thick fog. They disembarked on the island of High Brazil and discovered that it was inhabited by large black rabbits and a magician who lived alone in a castle. The magician informed them that the spell that had kept the island hidden from the eyes of mortals had been broken. The next year, a man named Matthew Calhoun made a request with King Charles I for ownership of High Brazil. It's not clear why Calhoun thought he could or
that's probably why he was hiding, like, bro.
Should own the island, since even by his own admission, it was Nisbet who found the island, not himself. In 1684, Irish historian Roderick O'Flaherty wrote a description of West Connaught, in which he included local lore. In the description, he wrote about a man named Murrow O'Leigh, who claimed that he had been kidnapped by 2 or 3 men in April of 1668 and taken to High Brazil. After 2 days, his kidnappers returned him home. Some years later, O'Leigh found he had the gift of healing, even though he had never studied medicine. He believed he had been given this gift on the magical island of High Brazil. In 1846, another Irish historian, James Hardiman, published O'Flaherty's account.
A man named James Harden?
Noted that even after almost 200 years, the story was still remembered in the area. But there was apparently some additions. The story was then that O'Leigh had been given a book while on the island and told not to open it for 7 years. O'Leigh obeyed, and after 7 years, he opened and read the book, and henceforth had the power to heal. But by the mid-19th century, most cartographers no longer believed in High Brazil's existence. On this 1702 map of the British Isles, a note was made by French cartographer Guillaume de Lille, in which he stated that he was not completely convinced of the island's existence. But not wanting to completely dismiss it, de Lille's apprentice, Philippe Bouache, labeled High Brazil as a rock on later maps. On this 1775 map, published by British cartographer Thomas Jeffries, the island is labeled as Imaginary Isle of Brazil.
So, look, them little things on the little maps that we have are just islands and shit. They just don't tell us about.
Many sources claim that High Brazil continued to appear on maps until 1873, when it was shown for the last time on a British Admiralty chart. But I can't seem to find this map on the internet. So what happened to High Brazil? Was it simply a myth, or did it actually exist and, for whatever reason, just disappeared? There are a few theories. One is that sailors were simply disoriented, and they had come across other islands in a different location. Some believe they may have actually made it all the way to North America without realizing it. Another theory is that High Brazil was made up by sailors and publishers just for attention, and maybe for profit. Others believe it was a real place, and that High Brazil sat on Porcupine Bank, a shoal in the Atlantic Ocean about 200 kilometers or 120 miles west of Ireland, and it was rising
like the Florida Keys.
Sea levels or an earthquake that sunk the island into the sea. Personally, I think the most likely explanation is that High Brazil was a mirage. T.J. Westrop, an Irish folklorist and archaeologist, wrote in the early 20th century that he saw High Brazil himself, but he refers to it as an illusion. Here is the full quote. I myself have seen the illusion some 3 times in my boyhood, and even made a rough colored sketch after the last event in the summer of 1872. It was a clear evening, with a fine golden sunset. when, just as the sun went down, a dark island suddenly appeared far out to sea, but not on the horizon. It had two hills, one wooded. Between these, from a low plain, rose towers and curls of smoke.
So you probably seen an island from a far distance.
My mother, brother, Ralph Hugh Westrop, and several friends saw it at the same time. Or maybe it was just that one in a 7-year moment. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already.
Oh, that was it? Oh, shit. Hope you guys like that Dean Family D Nation. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on all social medias and comment below what reaction you want to do next. Check out the original video in the description box below. Love you guys. See you guys next time. I'm out. Yeah.